Bart the Genius is brilliant and maybe one of my favourite early Simpsons episodes. This was released in January of 1990, directed by David Silverman, written by Matt Groening, James L. Brooks, and Sam Simon. And of course, we have the usual brilliant voice cast, including Dan Castellaneta, Julie Kavner, Nancy Cartwright, Yeardley Smith. This, of course, focuses on Bart. This being our second episode, I don't know if it was intended to be the second episode. I know the first episode, Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, was not meant to be the first episode. It was meant to be a Christmas special. It still technically was a Christmas special. But this, I don't know if it was meant to be the second episode, but I think it works quite well. Having an episode that focuses purely on Bart works really well. It's worth noting that the next episode, Homer's Odyssey, focuses on Homer. So getting to know the characters one at a time, I think, is a good idea. And this definitely tells us that Bart is not that bothered about school. In fact, he doesn't care about school. In this episode, he cheats on a test. He swaps tests with Martin. Nice to get us learning straight away that Martin is very intelligent. But they think that Bart is actually a genius who acts out at school because he is bored, because he is too clever for the work. Which we know very quickly is not the case. But he gets sent to this school for very clever children. And he realizes quite quickly that he's actually not going to enjoy being there. The other children begin to make fun of him for being not clever. And I think that that's a really interesting narrative device to have this character flipped straight away, because Bart is the one who makes fun of nerds. And we learn this even within this first episode, but obviously when you watch this episode back after having watched hundreds of episodes, I think it's even more beneficial. And when you can get even more out of an episode when you go back to it, I think that that's a really good sign of character development and character writing across the board. But even just judging it as a second episode on its own, it's really interesting to see these child geniuses. It's a lot of fun. The dialogue in this is brilliant. Bart's reactions and the way he develops as an individual in this individual episode, I think works really well. Obviously, whatever he learns in this doesn't stick. It doesn't change who he is as a character. As we progress through the Simpsons episodes hereafter, Bart is still the Bart that we have very quickly come to know and understand. I had a lot of fun with this one. I really thoroughly enjoyed the scenes in the school for the clever children. I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. And the more I watch it, I have seen this several times, the more I watch it, the more I get out of it. The hamsters, absolutely adorable. Fun fact, I rewatched this episode yesterday, and last night I had a dream about hamsters. That's how much it stayed with me. So I really enjoyed Bart the Genius. As a second episode, it works really well. We get to know Bart as a character. Hereafter, we get to know the other characters a bit more, but we also get to know the dynamic between Bart and Homer as well, because of how Homer reacts to certain things. Bart the Genius, I don't know if I would say it's one of my favourite Simpsons episodes of all time. It might be, I'm not sure, but certainly it's one of my favourites from the first season.